everyone, I'm Jayanthi, first year BCom Corporate Secretaryship, Mahalakshmi Women's College of Arts and Science. I'm here to review a book called Treasury of Indian Tales, written by Shankar and published in the year 1967. This book contains many short stories. I'm here to review one of my favorite story called The Silver Basket. On the bank of river Narmada was a palace of King Chitradev. Govind was one of many servants in the palace. Early one morning, Govind accompanied Princess Nandini when she went into a palace garden to gather flowers. Nandini carried a silver basket and she picked flowers of many kinds until a basket was full. She then turned to go home. As Nandini and Govind were walking back, they noticed an old man with a white beard and matted hair. He was sitting just outside the palace garden talking to a small group of people. Who is that old man? Govind, Nandini asked. And what is he doing there? Wait here, princess. I shall go and find out, said Govind, and off he went. Within a minute he returned and said to the princess, the old man is a fortune teller. He can say who will marry whom. Can he really? Exclaimed the princess. How very exciting. How does he do it? He takes two blades of grass and ties them together, Govind explained. He calls it Burma knot of wedlock. Go back to the old man Govind, said the princess, and find out from him who is going to marry me. Princess replied Govind. That could not be wise. These fortune tellers tell lies just to please people. That is the way they earn money. It is better to keep away from them. I did not ask for your advice, said the princess sharply. Just go and find out what I want to know. Very well, said Govind. If that is your command, I will go and ask him. Govind went again to the old man while Nandini waited in the garden. I have came from royal household, Govind whispered to the old man. I want to speak to you alone so that no one else can hear. The old man and Govind walked some distance away. What do you want to know? Said the old man. Princess Nandini wants to know who is going to marry her, said Govind. The old man took two blades of grass and tied them together. He looked at the knot thoughtfully. He then looked at Govind and smiled. You are going to marry Princess Nandini, he said. Me? Govind, you are making a mistake. I am only a servant. There is no mistake, replied the old man. You will be her husband. Govind walked slowly and sadly back to the palace garden. Well, Nandini asked, what did he say? Princess replied, Govind, I told you that these fortune tellers never speak the truth. What he said was so bad that I cannot tell you. Tell me what he said Nandini. I cannot tell you, replied Govind. It could be bad to be repeated. Govind said the princess strangely, I command you to tell me that what old man said. Very well, replied Govind. If you command me, I must obey. Yes, said Nandini. He said that you are going to marry me, said Govind. What an impudence, cried Nandini. How dare you say such things to me? And Nandini was so angry and she seized the silver flower basket and threw it at Govind's head without waiting to see what happened. Nandini turned and walked quickly back to the palace. The silver basket hit Govind on the forehead. It made a deep cut and bled behind to flow his face. He too was very angry. You may be princess, he said as he watched Nandini hurrying away, but you have no rights to insult me. Nandini flowers were scattered all over the grass. Govind picked up the silver basket and turned away. I hope I never see her again, he said to himself as he walked home. Now, Govind decided that he could not return to a palace again. He could travel some far away place and find some other work to do. Early the next morning he packed up few things and set out. His head was bandaged because of the wound on his forehead. He walked and walked for days and days, and at last he reached a big city. There he found the people were having holiday. They were all wearing their best clothes and seemed very happy. There is lot of excitement here, Govind said to a boy. What is all about? Do not you know? Answered the little boy. A new king is going to be chosen. Govind wanted to know more about it. Our king died recently, the boy explained. And before he died, he commented that the next king should be chosen by its elephant. Today, the elephant will choose the new king. That is why so many princes have come to the city. Come, let us go and see the fun. Govind went with the boy to the palace where the people were waiting for the elephant. Crowds of people had gathered there. The princes were ready, and each one hoped that he could be fortunate enough to be chosen by the elephant. There was a sound of music and beating of drums. The royal elephant came in. In, in his truck, he carried a beautiful garland. He could place this garland round the neck of the man he chose to be king. The elephant moved slowly from one to another, looking at each other one carefully. Now the elephant turned away from the prince and began to walk among the people. He is searching for a king, someone said. Everyone wanted to pat the elephant and tried to get near him, but the elephant walked calmly on. Suddenly, the elephant reached the Govind. He looked at the Govind very closely. He then bowed to Govind and put the garland round his neck. Govind was chosen king. People began to beat drums. Ministers and other officers went to Govind to pay his homage. Govind was surprised. He felt as if he were dreaming. He could not believe that it was all happening to him. Next, Govind was taken to the palace, riding upon the elephant who has been chosen him. There he was crowned king. Govind was very good king. He was intelligent and he was good and wise and noble. He worked hard and ruled the kingdom well. The people loved and respected him. He was known for and wide as great and good ruler. Now the time had come for the king Govind to marry. He sent messengers to search for a suitable bride. King Chitradev, Nandini's father, heard of famous King Govind. He was now seeking husband for Nandini. Now he splendid it could be if Nandini were to marry King Govind. He sent his messenger proposing the marriage, and the King Govind agreed. The marriage of Nandini and Govind was celebrated in a great manner. Everyone blessed the couple. When Govind returned to his capital with Nandini, there was great rejoicing. The people loved their new queen. One day, Nandini said to Govind, "How did you get that scar on your forehead? You must have done very brave deed to get such an injury." Govind smiled. "That scar," he said, "it is scared a scare of wedlock." "I do not understand," said Nandini. "Tell me plainly, how did you got the scare?" "It is very simple," replied Govind. "This scare is a sign of good luck. It made me a king and it made me your husband as well." "Govind," Nandini became impatient. "I still do not know what you are talking about. Tell me plainly, I say. How did you get the scare?" "All right," said Govind. "Wait a moment and I will tell you." He hurried out of the room and soon returned carrying a silver basket. "Do you remember this?" he said. Nandini looked at the basket. At first she was puzzled. Then she recognized it. "Oh," she exclaimed, "that is my flower basket." Nandini looked at the king. "Govind," she cried. "Oh no, I understand. You are that Govind. I threw the basket at you." "Oh, Govind, forgive me. I did not know I had hurt you. I behaved very badly that day. You will forgive me, not you?" "There is nothing to forgive, my dear," replied Govind. "In fact, I have to thank you for throwing your basket at me." "Thank me? Why?" asked Nandini. "If you had not lost your temper and hit me with the basket," Govind said, "I should not have left the palace. If I had not left the palace, I could not have become a king, and if I had not became a king, I could not have married you." "How wonderful it all is," said Nandini. "After all, that old man was right." Moral: everything happens for a reason. Thank you.